Based on my 20 stores on 420, it always ends up being those prices 2 years down the road. All of those big discounts and deals 2 years later are the everyday low price. Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, capital markets analyst and host of your Cannabis Business Podcast. Today, we're going to cover a 420 sales report from Headset. Sales on 420 this year were not as good as last year, but sales in the week preceding it were higher overall. So this graph is showing that sales were boosted over 90% for all of the states in 2019, while this year, no one cracked 80%. Interesting, Washington State was the best this year, while Nevada enjoyed a higher boost in 2019, perhaps because of Nevada sales were socially driven, given its reputation as a place to party and the cannabis industry's focus on supplying Las Vegas. Regardless, the uplifting news here is that people still bought lots of cannabis, just not all at once on the actual holiday. Yeah, with Nevada completely shut down, it's obvious that those sales were going to plummet. They don't have tourism. And so companies tried to offset the huge rush on 420 with offering deals on Friday. I didn't see too many online. I think a lot of them were through loyalty via text or emails. But regardless, it looks like the sales were leading up to it, not just on the day of. All right, so taking a look at Washington, the week before 420 is always good for sales, but it looks like it was significantly higher than a normal April from this year, 25% higher than the previous week as opposed to only 22% last year. So you'd expect that people would be spreading out their sales more than that definitely appears to be the case. So it looks like there's a trend. If you look at the week prior sales boost in each state, you can see it's pretty much evened out. California was much lower. Nevada was slightly so, but Washington sold more overall, and Colorado sold significantly more. In 2019, the actual day of 420 was way more significant chunk of the week's sales. This year, each day leading up to the holiday had higher sales and there was no peak, making it a wash. So with the pandemic, we've noticed that it's not just affected how much people are buying, but it's affecting what they're buying. So we can see there's a big boost to edibles, for example. Concentrate and vape pens lost market share this year, while edibles gained a whopping 4.3%. Flower was up slightly, probably due to the stocking up effect. So even though you would think people would be stocking up on ounces and smoking less due to fears with smoking and combustion with the pandemic, actually pre-rolls didn't actually suffer that much this year, despite being part of that kind of the smoking thing and not being able to puff, pass. Looks like sales were relatively flat, if not dipping just slightly. So while things were a little bit different with the pandemic, I think that discounting had a lot to do with it, with sales on 420. Concentrates are one of the more heavily discounted items on 420, but this year we didn't see nearly as attractive price. Last year, I saw some really good grams of crumble for $10. This year, I didn't buy any concentrate. I didn't see anything that was priced at a value enough where I was willing to pull the trigger. Concentrates lost a much higher portion of its market share than vape pens in California. So this might suggest that the price sensitivity might persist even in the pandemic. So with cannabis businesses being deemed essential and a lot of people having anxiety and kind of freaking out, well, I think the safe thing to say is that cannabis is going to be around for a while, just not sure what the price point is going to be. Based on my 20 stores on 420, it always ends up being those prices 2 years down the road. All of those big discounts and deals 2 years later are the everyday low price. So with $49 ounces and $8 grams of vape, hopefully in 2022, we'll see, $49 ounces and $8 vape carts. We'll have to wait and find out. So with that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is The Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't.